Joseph Amendola is the attorney for Jerry Sandusky. Mr. Amendola, good morning.
Good morning, Ann.
Is a plea bargain in the works, yes or no?
No, there's never been any discussions about plea bargains on either side of this case, and I don't anticipate there will be, Ann. Any sort of plea bargain that might be in the works would involve essentially a life sentence for Jerry Sandusky, given the nature of the allegations and the fact that he's 67. Jerry Sandusky has maintained his innocence from the allegations brought by accuser number 1 3 years ago, and he's maintained his innocence in regard to all of these allegations since then. There'd be no reason for Jerry to even consider a plea. He hasn't, and I don't anticipate he will.
All right, well then let me ask you a pretty tough question that has been raised by experts in your own profession in light of your decision to waive the preliminary hearing yesterday and also your decision to allow your client to speak to the press not once but more than once. And the question is pretty tough. It is, Mr. Amendola, are you competent to defend Jerry Sandusky against these charges?
Well, I'm competent to defend him, but the fact of the matter is, Ann, that he's facing an uphill battle, which I've compared to climbing Mount Everest from the bottom. I think we have a defense, but as you know, when these charges were first filed in early November, the media and the public convicted Jerry Sandusky before he even had a chance to appear in court. And unfortunately, despite our efforts, he's still facing a really tough task. So as far as competency is concerned, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that we can give Jerry the best defense possible. But the fact still remains, he's facing a really, really big challenge in overcoming the Commonwealth's allegations.
Well, why wouldn't you have known that you could not question in this preliminary hearing that you waived the right to yesterday? You could not have questioned the accusers on credibility. Why wouldn't you have not known that until the 11th hour? Did you do your homework on that, sir?
Oh my goodness, I've known that for years. That's a basic fundamental principle, Ann.
Then why did you wait? Why did you wait? Why did you wait at the 11th hour?
First of all, let me clarify something. Credibility is never an issue at a preliminary hearing. That wasn't something we discovered yesterday or the day before. We waived for a very simple reason. The night before, the Commonwealth attorney contacted me to talk about the preliminary hearing details. In that conversation, he indicated that he was going to request, following the hearing, an increase in bail, and that if there were any additional charges filed between yesterday and the time of trial, he would request additional bail. It's very important to me as Jerry's attorney, and very important to Jerry, that he remain out on bail so that he can properly assist us and the defense team in the preparation of his defense. The Commonwealth attorney said that he would not request a bail increase in the current charges nor in any additional charges if Jerry waived his preliminary hearing. That was a big concession because it's very vitally important that Jerry stay out of jail. That conversation took place on the eve of the preliminary hearing at about 7 o'clock. We then had a meeting. We then memorialized that meeting, and based upon that meeting at about 10 o'clock on Monday night, we agreed to waive the hearing. The Commonwealth attorney knew that. I advised him he could call off his witnesses. He was reluctant to do so because it was a fact that Jerry could have come into court and decided to have a hearing anyway. So the witnesses came to court, and the fact that one of the attorneys for one of the accusers indicated that Jerry was a coward is absolutely false. Jerry Sandusky has always said he wants to defend these charges. He wants to defend himself in this case. All that would have happened yesterday, Ann, is that the media would have had a feeding frenzy. They would have heard the worst of the worst from the Commonwealth witnesses. We would not have been able to cross-examine them about credibility.
Right.
That was not a new issue. That's age-old, and everyone in the legal profession who does criminal defense work or prosecution work knows that.
Right.
So we had very little to gain, a lot of downside, and what we got in return was a guarantee that unless Jerry Sandusky violates his bail conditions, he's going to be out of jail helping me prepare his defense until his trial.
Obviously, that's still to come. Joseph Amendola, thank you so much for joining us this morning and giving us your perspective.